How is it that our mind influences the events and circumstances that happen in our life? And how can we use our minds constructively to obtain the things that we want in life? These are the questions that I'm going to be answering today. So the first thing that to understand is that your mind is comprised of two separate entities, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, if your mind is a computer, then the conscious mind is all the hardware. It's the physical stuff that you can see. That means keyword where you can input data, which represents your ability to see, hear, touch, taste, smell. And there is also the screen, which represents the screen of your mind, where you're able to have thoughts and perceptions about the world. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. It's where you're able to reason and make decisions and also make judgments and assumptions. Your subconscious mind operates completely different than the conscious mind. This is like the software of the computer. This is the stuff that you can see. It's a program or with a code that's taking the inputs, processing it and then dumping out an output. Unlike the conscious mind, the subconscious mind has no agenda. It doesn't judge, it knows no limits, and it must accept all the input that is given us through and process it and produce an output based on the programming that's in place. Why do we care about this? Well, the subconscious mind directs 95% of your actions and reactions. This is where all the magic happens. Well, we have no idea of what is going on in there. So the real question we have to begin asking ourselves is, what programs are we running? What are all programs, no exception, from the moment that we're born? Until the age of 7, your conscious mind is not fully developed. That means that you're totally subjective, subconscious, and wide open to the thing happening around you. As you get older and your conscious mind develops, you start to have an ability to choose what you're going to accept as true. But understand that before this age, you don't have the ability. Everything that's happening just goes right into your subconscious and the internal programming starts developing. This is why our childhood has such profound impact on the person that we become. As we continue through life, stuff happens. And some of these experiences carry such a high emotional impact that we rewrite our programming even more. When we develop ideas about people and society, money and houses and designs and relationships, and all this data, all these filters are stored in our subconscious mind. On previous videos, we talk extensively about how everything already exists. So why can we experience this everything? It's because of the filters of our subconscious mind. We walk through life seeing the outputs. All the opportunities and possibilities are there, but then they go through this extremely rigorous filtering process. There is your internal programming, and as we see, all the outputs. And this is why we have such a limited view of reality. We are seeing the world through filters. Now, the good news is the same way that this subconscious programming can have an effect on our conscious thoughts, our conscious thoughts can also have an effect on our subconscious programming. The most important thing you can understand about your subconscious mind is that it is not limited to the same constraints as your conscious mind. The subconscious does not know the difference between what we perceive to be real with our eyes and our senses versus what we only see in imagination. Your subconscious mind has the answers to any question you can ever ask it. And it is your means of communicating with their higher intelligence that guides all things in nature. And this is why we don't need to know the how of our goals. Because once we make a decision about our world and we hold that idea consistently in our conscious mind, we're telling our subconscious that that is what is real. You know, on a venture, we start to feel like that's real. And when we start to feel like it's real, that's how you know that the message have reached the subconscious. That's how you know that the programming is starting to change. You know, the filters are being lifted. And we start to be able to see possibilities and opportunities that we couldn't before.